Welcome to Pass and Move, the Liverpool Groove podcast. As Dan couldn't make it this evening, it's just me and Neil talking all things Anfield, the Kop, and how to defend properly. And Klopp.
Yeah, like if you don't want 3+ hours of Liverpool banter, we advise that you turn off now. You can go to the Fantasy Premier League website yourself to see the standings. So off you go. That's it. No, we have to talk about Liverpool, obviously, but we're just going to have as regular show as we can without Dan. So it'll be basically me throwing all my questions to John, and we're going to start off before we touch on any Champions League draw or the qualifiers from Tuesday and Thursday night or Tuesday and Wednesday night. We'll talk about the Premier League first and United Swansea. So obviously last week against West Ham, people were suggesting United fans were getting carried away with themselves, and I know this is Swansea, but it's still away from home. It's 8 goals without conceding, and like all the problems they had last year seem to have gone. Pogba's got support, Lukaku is doing it, and Mkhitaryan seems back to his best. What's the issue?
It's United are so lucky that, as we can tell by their last 2 matches, they're struggling for goals, that they were able to sign Ibra to a new 1-year contract today.
Yeah, that's quite incredible. So
he's number 10 now.
He's taken Rooney's number. Yeah. One of the things about Ibra when we've been talking about it on the show and stuff is that if he was a regular human, he would have come back in December, which meant they could have just signed him when he was fit. Because why would you? Because it's Ibra and he's going to be on Ibra wages. So why would you sign him when he is just going to sit around for a while? Well, suppose he could be back in October. That's why he's been signed in late August. That's incredible.
Do you see that video that he threw up, like what knee, and he kicked a boxing pad?
Yeah, it's like martial arts.
And then his
kick.
leg that he injured shakes a little at the second kick. I was like, what are you doing?
He's incredible.
Yeah, it's madness. But United, you're right about what you said. They do seem to improve. United are getting that second goal that they weren't getting last season. Like last season, they'd get the first goal and just leave it and not be able to. But I will say that it is Swansea and West Ham.
You still have
teams
to say
you'd
that.
imagine will be down there last year. But Martial looks great coming off the bench.
This is what I was going to say, not to cut across you, is that I think Juan Mata and David Silva just, they're such neat players and they're Spanish and they've never not been good. So I think they're always given the benefit of the doubt. And people kind of, I think, saw Mata as an underdog, being back under Jose and just kind of like, oh, how much does he really like him? But to be honest, when Mata has come off and Martial has come on and Mick has moved over to the wing, they've scored like 4 goals or 5 goals.
Yeah, they scored like 3 goals in 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think Mata, I wouldn't start Mata anymore. I think Martial has 2 goals and an assist in 23 minutes of football this season.
Yeah, I think so. But I think he's great coming off the bench. I think his pace is a massive sort of thing.
It also allows Mick to move onto the wing though, which I really like.
Yeah, well, Mick is good on the wing.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, absolutely. It's a handy old win for them. They were great. I also took Bailey out of my fantasy team this week, so I gave up on fantasy football this weekend straight after.
I'm swear to God, I'm sticking with it this week or this year. Yeah. I'm really sticking with it. Okay, Bournemouth and Watford. Watford 2-0 away win. Richardson and Capoue.
I had to say Dan was right. I sort of wrote off Watford this year, but your man Silva seems to be doing a pretty good job. The only thing memorable out of this match was Harry Arthur shouting "Leave it" to one of the Watford players.
I'm so glad you brought it up. I've watched it about 8 times since it happened, and it just slipped my mind there that it was in this game. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
There's 2 great vines from football this week, and there's that one, and then there's the Emre Can goal from last night set to the Titanic music by Celine Dion, and both of them have just been on repeat on my phone. I've got no work done this week.
No, and you've been watching the clip of the leg drop as well.
Oh, that I don't even need a clip for that. The clip would take away from the photo.
It would. It's incredible. But I guess the way the reaction. Who did he shout it at again?
I have no idea now that you say.
I can't remember, but anyway, he's very upset
with Chilo Bar or something.
with Harry Arthur and
deservedly so. Like,
I was going to ask, what's the etiquette here?
As far as I know, that's not allowed on 11-a-side up in like an Astro pitch. So I'd imagine it's not allowed in the Premier League.
Well, do you think it's do you think it's an actual rule, or do you think it's just etiquette? Like it's a gentleman's agreement?
I feel like it's a rule, but
it can't be.
I can't imagine like they're not going to give a drop ball or something for it. So
leave it. It was incredible, sneaky but incredible. Burnley and West Brom. Robson
Kanu becomes only the fourth player to come on as a sub, score the winner, and get sent off.
It was quite incredible, was it? In your, we'll obviously have a lot of setting offs to talk about the Everton and City game being a focal point because of what it did to that game, or kind of what it didn't do. But was the Kanu?
I think he was a bit unlucky to get sent off. It was a nice finish for the goal. That was a very Burnley are starting. Like, I know they beat Chelsea last week, but they were quite slow. They never looked like winning the game. Like, West Brom never looked in trouble, and then they just got the one goal. We predicted it'd be a 0-0. It could have easily been that.
Okay. Leicester hosting Brighton. That's 2 on the bounce for Brighton now. Losing Maguire and Okazaki with the goals.
Okazaki only scored 3 goals last season. He's got 2 already this season.
Yeah, it's great. Was it a case where he was being pushed out of the team by Salami last year? And now he's just back?
It could be that. It could be just that they started off so slowly that they just weren't getting enough goals as they were. Brighton looking a bit of trouble. I know it's only been 2 matches, but they haven't shown anything in either one that makes me look like they're going to score a lot of goals. Like, they've had 2 tough games, to be fair. Like, Leicester were the champions last year, and Man City as well. So
one of the more interesting things coming out of Leicester this weekend is actually this Jamie Vardy Chelsea link.
I haven't heard this.
Really?
No.
Yeah, supposedly they were put on warning, like Chelsea are considering Vardy.
Like, I don't want to sound like Dan calling team scum, but Jamie Vardy going to Chelsea would be the absolute arsehole to arsehole club type sort of signing. Like,
it wouldn't be.
He'd definitely not let a certain type of person onto a train in Paris. So
well, supposedly maybe he is, fixed his ways, but I don't know. It'd be interesting. Supposedly Leicester are very much on a drive to keep absolutely everybody they have now. They don't expect anyone to come in. They won't let anybody go. And
doesn't look like the Roma are going to give them the money for Mahrez either.
Or Arsenal. So yeah. Okay. Moving on, we had Liverpool and Crystal Palace.
This match was dreadful.
It was. Yeah.
I'd quite like a hangover, and those hangovers. You're like, I'll just watch Liverpool and make me feel better, and you just kind of want them to do something. They just didn't. Like, it's like Liverpool played their second string team. They obviously had a big match against Hoffenheim, and even bigger match on Sunday against Arsenal. So it was like a drop team, and they look solid at the back.
That was the one thing I took.
Benteke had one chance. Like, the match could have gone either way, but
Benteke had a great chance, and then Punchin was the only person who actually had a shot on target.
Yeah,
I thought the defense were excellent. I thought they fixed one problem, but they were very uninspiring going forward. Me and you have talked at nauseam about what happens when Firmino gets pushed onto the wing for Daniel Sturridge up front.
It should never happen.
That's what was happening, and it was dirt. But 2 things I really took from this as positives was Klopp's main criticism, besides not doing defensive drills properly, is making late changes.
Yes.
And when he made the changes at 60 minutes when Salah came on, and I think, was it Gomez then after that? Or
yeah, Gomez.
Yeah.
No, Gomez started, didn't he?
Okay,
Gomez
maybe it was Arnold that came on. But anyway, the Salah change was the big one for Sturridge. And, the game just came to life then. And Liverpool had several chances after they went to their go-to front three, which is a really exciting front three. We'll talk about that more so in the Hoffenheim game. But, so there were positives to take, but it's weird. It was reminiscent of last year where teams would come to Anfield and play like that. And sometimes it would be a draw, and sometimes Liverpool would sneak it by a goal, but at least they didn't look disgraceful from set pieces.
My favourite part of this was Mane very happy that he'd scored the winner, tried to run and jump on Klopp.
Klopp absolutely.
And Klopp was like having none of it.
It was almost a year It was almost a year today since the Arsenal goal.
The jockey back at
and when Klopp said, "I'm never celebrating with a player again," because they almost, it almost imploded. But yeah, I saw that. It was just like swatting a fly away.
See, someone took a great picture, like one of those perfectly timed, and it's just Mane in the air, and it looks like Klopp is just pushing him away.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Southampton and West Ham. This is probably the most exciting Southampton game in, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. They hadn't
scored in like 7 hours of football. Matches at home. I think West Ham are just missing shots on purpose, so Chicharito will get the tap-ins. Like
Chicharito with 2. And
I also took him out of my fancy team. I had a wonderful weekend this week.
I left him in. I also have Alonso. Anyway, Tadic, Austin, and Gabadini.
Since Joe Hart's been back, he's conceded 7 goals.
7 goals.
And you see, Charlie Austin, he scored a 90-minute penalty. Right. And his after interview was like, "Yeah, Mark Noble told me where Joe Hart. He told me that Joe Hart knew where it was going, so I just went the other way."
Sound advice. Okay.
That was just devastating for West Ham. Like, they went 2-0 down pretty early.
Yeah.
Managed to fight back, and then to lose the way they did, it's They don't look great. Chicharito, if he keeps scoring goals, they'll probably be all right.
But that's the most they can hope for, is just being all right. It seems.
Yeah,
they'll probably be out of the top 10 finish.
absolutely. I would say.
It's looking like it now. So last week I made a
Speaking of
comparison.
out of top 10 finishes.
Yep, I made a comparison between Arsenal and Liverpool, saying that like both their defences were in shambles, and the only reason that Liverpool are getting the stink eye for it is because Arsenal went on to actually beat Leicester. Well, here we are, and Arsenal didn't seem anyway as exciting up front as they were against Leicester.
I was disappointed by
Jesse
this.
go?
It was too early. It was too early for Arsenal Fan TV in the season. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe like they're that negative already. So
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it. I need like the March breakdown where like they've got a little bit of hope left. Like, second game of the season and they're already going nuts. And this match had the leg drop.
This match had the leg drop, but like you wouldn't say that they were unlucky to lose.
No, they created a few chances, but Jesse scored the goal. The most dangerous forward line with Jesse and Berahino up front for Stoke doing all the damage. Like,
That could be pretty good if they got it going.
I was absolutely surprised. Like, I was not expecting Jesse to score that early. The one thing I will say is though, like the press and like Stephen Gerrard and BT and stuff went absolutely mental about Ozil. Like, he created 4 chances. Like, he's been here a long time. Like, what are you expecting him to do?
He was the scapegoat for the match. Why so?
I just don't think, like,
Surely Arsenal's the problem, not him.
lads coming over. Like, I think, teams get those players that can just lie around, and I just think at this point that people are sick of Arsenal doing it, like bringing Ozil around. Like, Ozil does what he does better than anyone else in the league, really, but he's not going to support him. What Arsenal need is a good DM that'll do the work for them, but Xhaka's too busy booting people and getting yellow cards to really hold the ball properly.
Do you see it as a stumbling block, or do you see it as a sign of like definitely bad times that Arsenal are still ahead?
I don't know. Like, they play Liverpool this weekend, and I'm interested in that match, obviously, because I'm a Liverpool fan, but also they play 3 at the back against Liverpool's front 3. Like,
Jesus Christ.
it could be anything.
Yeah.
But it's because like Lacazette got a goal disallowed. It was sort of offside, like just about, could have gone either way. So and that was some finish.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's weird, but I rated Stoke. I predicted Stoke to go down. So
Yeah, I know it is
like,
strange.
that's a pretty bad result.
Like, on paper, you think that like if Sanchez saga seems all but dead now. So Sanchez coming back in, and him and Ozil, Lacazette starting together, like, that is a recipe for a tremendous team, or a tremendous front line anyway.
I just think, like, we'll go through the rest of the fixtures, but I think United will walk this league.
Yeah,
the rest of the top 4 are interesting. Like,
Huddersfield, there was comments in the press that the upper management of Huddersfield were baffled that they'd be favourites in this contest. But Moy with a goal, and that's 2 losses for Newcastle.
To sum up this match, the commentator said that the Mui goal was better than that match deserved.
Jesus Christ.
That's how bad that match was. The typical Sky Super Sunday. Like, and I sort of watched that. I think I was like on my phone for most of it. It was absolutely dreadful. I think you guys had it in the prediction show that Rafa would be close to the first one gone, and he looks.
It was
like
Conte and Rafa.
Yeah, he looks like he's gone.
Although Conte turned the frown upside down from match day 1.
He dusted off his suit.
He got the lucky suit back, which he said was nothing to do with luck. This game was crazy.
It was mental.
Just the kind of the team that Chelsea were playing, we predicted that that Luis would be moved into midfield, which he was. They were very depleted. Only Morata and Willian were allowed to try and run past the defence. Everyone else was told to stay behind the ball. And they had Batshuayi. Who's the Monaco guy they signed? Bakayoko,
that's it.
They had him play, and
he didn't look fit.
He wasn't, but he was still running around like a lunatic.
He's an absolute training midfield without giving the ball away. Luis is an amazing defensive midfielder. He's set up to a winner, but he's just so good. Like,
he's so great in general.
He's just like, what happened? Remember, he was like laughable, and now he's like amazing.
Yeah, it was like really good club runs. Then the World Cup happened, and he was part of the defence that conceded 7 goals to Germany.
Yeah. Pochettino dropped Walter Peters for this match.
Right.
I thought that was a bit surprising, but this match was mental. Like,
the Wembley flavour.
Yeah, like, Spurs look good. Like,
Dembele looked amazing.
Dembele.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. Then he didn't. In the second half, they took off Dyer, and Dembele looked like an absolute headless chicken.
When they took off Dyer, I think it all went to well, that's when it really went to shit, when
Went-
they didn't have 3 men in
But
midfield.
I just, and then there was just so much space at times that, like, I remember Willian messed up a pass to Moses and he was clean. It just seems to be a lot more space. Everyone talks about the size of the Wembley pitch now. With
It is
Spurs
big,
there.
isn't it?
But there just seemed to be a lot of space, just
Pedro was also waiting to come on for 15 minutes at one stage. I had no idea. Like, it was like Conte, he was like, will I take Willian off, won't I? It's like every half thing was going. I mean, two goals for Marcus Alonso.
the free kick is just amazing.
Fucking unreal.
It's just
The fact he took it instead of David Luiz as a left footer,
Yeah.
and it was
a
as
bit
good.
closer. I think David Luiz, you take it as far away as possible, and you'll still.
And then the second goal
That's
was the
just
through
it.
ball from David Luiz
Yeah,
as well.
Lloris threw it out to Dembele. Luiz tackled him and gave a through ball to Alonso.
You were
And
very
Alon-
critical of Lloris in that goal. You were like, you
He-
mentioned that if Mignolet did it, he'd be hung.
He would absolutely he wouldn't have got out of the ground.
Yep.
Like Lloris is obviously a better keeper, but that was a horrendous error, I thought.
It was a huge win for Chelsea.
Massive. We laughed them out, the idea of because we thought Bakayoko was injured, so we thought they'd be getting like Kennedy and
Yep.
stuff from in, but I still think Spurs should have won it. But again, they didn't score. Like Batshuayi came on for them and scored with his first touch.
Oh my god, that was the own goal from the cross. It was actually incredible. I don't know what he was trying to do, but yeah. So they actually didn't score. Like Ali looked okay when there was 3 men in midfield, and then when Dyer came off, it was like Spurs couldn't put a
Yeah,
thing
that was a
together.
mistake. But also Morata's miss. After last week when Morata changed my opinion. Like I
didn't think he looked great in the first week.
Well, he scored. He came on. Like he scored a goal. He said another one.
Cross hit off his shoulder as he walked towards the goal.
Like I said, class. World class striker scored us sort of goals now.
Man City and Everton. This was something else. Rooney coming back and scoring against the Manchester
Did you
rivals.
see his tweet?
What did he
He
say?
was like, "It's great to see old friends again," and it's like him scoring for United and the same 4 lads being like, it's like giving the finger up and all.
That's excellent. The sending offs obviously are a big focal point. So first off, we had Walker get a second yellow card. What
Was that in the first half? Was it?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Like madness. I just.
But I didn't think that the second was a yellow at all.
I didn't think so either, but I understood why the ref gave it, but I just think the ref was like, I'm under the lights, Monday Night Football here on Sky sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you see them just not even a foul sometimes, so it was a bit strange.
So they switched things by taking Sané off and putting Sterling on, in order to try and.
Sterling has to be one of the most frustrating players to have in your team.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, he played for Liverpool, but even every Man City match I watch, like, he's not a goal scorer, and for as attacking as he plays. And Aguero, at some stage, old Aguero, I think, would have scored. He had one chance where he was like 1-on-1, he just took 100 touches.
Yeah, he just kept running with it.
And he was my captain in fantasy football, and I mentioned that again. This is how good my week has been. So I was like, yes.
Well, Sterling did take his goal well, and then Schneiderlin, who had previously been booked in the first half, was booked again and sent off, and I think that was a sending off. But that's a massive result for Everton.
Absolutely massive, because they're going into a tough run of fixtures now, and I thought this, like, they show characters, but I think this also showed a lot about City. Like, I know a lot of people predicted them to be like,
Yeah, but John,
doing
if they'd had 11 men the whole time, do you think it would have been a
well,
different
they were
story?
1-0 down when Walker
That's true.
sort of thing. They weren't. I think that defense is still.
Are you happy to see Wayne Rooney score 20 goals this season for Everton? I think there's something incredibly romantic
he
about
doesn't
it.
score any against. Like, he does seem to enjoy scoring a goal more than anyone else.
He really does, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I suppose Harry Kane sort of does as well. And then Giroud gets to look at his hair a bit. But there's not too many players that score goals and just this could be my last one ever.
No, Firmino is pretty excessive at celebrating
Well,
goals.
he's got prepared. Like, he drops his jocks like he did.
We'll talk about that. All right, just really quickly, we'll run through the fixtures coming up this weekend. Saturday, early kickoff is Bournemouth hosting City.
I don't think Bournemouth have started off great. I'd fancy City to just nick that.
Palace hosting Swansea. Who knows?
Both these teams are dreadful.
Who knows?
Maybe Palace at home.
Huddersfield and Southampton.
Huddersfield are on a good run. I'm going to say they make it 3.
Newcastle and West Ham.
I want to watch. I think this will be game of the weekend.
I'm hoping for a West Ham win, as I predicted them to be my surprise package. Watford and Brighton. I'd say Watford.
Watford, yeah.
United and Leicester is the late kick-off on Saturday. That's
It should
exciting.
be a good match. I'd imagine that's another. Leicester will be the first team that can maybe threaten that United back line, but I think United will have too much for them.
Me too. Chelsea and Everton, which is always great. is the first game on Sunday.
Everton, I fancy for that.
That is happening at the same time as West Brom and Stoke. Wait, sorry, you're Everton at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Okay. Liverpool and Arsenal.
Liverpool. If you'd asked me last week, I would have said Arsenal, but Liverpool, just the last 24 hours and how they going forward against that Arsenal back line. Liverpool will score 3 goals. It's just a matter of how much Arsenal score.
Finally, Spurs and Burnley.
Spurs should walk that, but the Wembley curse.
Before we talk about the Champions League draws, we'll mention Liverpool's second leg game at Anfield to Hoffenheim. It was classic Liverpool. We're back. In fact, they were playing the best football, I'd say, that we've seen since the early part of last season. And the defence was the shits. Hoffenheim could have scored 7 to 8 goals last night.
It's kind of like shit being a Liverpool fan. Because in some ways, we kill off matches in the first 20 minutes. Like, that's what happened to any other team, 3-0, we're done. But because we're a Liverpool fan, they score a goal and you're in panic stations. Like, at one stage, they needed to score 4 goals to go through, and we're just absolutely panicking our way through it. Like, Lovren went a bit mad. But, like, it's like all-out attack in FIFA or PES whenever we get the ball. Like, everyone just legs it forward, like. So, like, Lovren was absolutely dreadful last night. And then, for some reason, in the 92nd minute, Moreno was our furthest player forward. So, it's going to be great for a neutral to watch.
Yeah, the Gnarby, how do I pronounce his name?
Do you remember when he was off? That was very loud. I can see the spike in the volume there.
Sorry about that. Narby. Is it Narby?
His miss, like, I know he was offside, was outrageous how bad it was.
He had 2 of those, though.
Yeah.
That were actually absolutely insane.
I was still, though, wouldn't mind signing him. And the Hoffenheim keeper that was able to get down for every cross. I was like,
yeah,
I'd take him.
I guess Salah is just incredible.
Yeah, like, he works, but he's like, I was chatting to a guy in work and he said perfectly, if it's 0-0 in the 91st minute and he gets a 1-on-1, I'm not fancying him to put it away.
Yeah, he does. It does take a while. Also, Mane had a great chance. Like, where do you, like, it's just the same old problem though, isn't it? We can't really rate this anything great or bad because, in all honesty, like, Liverpool could score against anybody, but it's just
like, we can't, like, it's mental because I think you just sort of have to accept the way we play, and then obviously it'll turn when the results aren't going this well. But when our centre mid or defensive midfielder is scoring 2 goals, being the first player forward, you sort of have to expect that.
To be fair, he was played as number 10 last night.
I think Ronaldo was played as the number 10.
No,
I just think they both kept going forward.
they did, but
both
it
had
was
chances.
the most advanced I'd ever seen Chan
And Trent
play.
and Moreno were great going forward. So I just think you have to accept when, like, 80-year players are going to be in the opposition's half, then you're going to look a bit leaky in the back.
Who do you think was the biggest Liverpool offender defensively?
Oh, Lovren.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, like, but against Palace, Clavin looked great. Maybe Clavin and Matip is the answer.
I just think against Palace we were an actual defence, like Joe Gomez and Robertson.
Oh, well, that would help, yeah.
Weren't really going anywhere well.
How did you rate Robertson? I thought he was incredible in the first half.
I think he was great, but I don't think Palace offered much, like, so.
Well, he did make Andros Townsend,
Yeah, it was nice to see a solid left back in a Liverpool jersey. I haven't seen that since the Jimmy Traore days.
Yes, of course.
But,
so Liverpool went, what was it? Was it 6-3 on aggregate?
6-3 on aggregate.
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll go through, and we had the Champions League draw today. Group A, Benfica, United, Basel, and CSKA Moscow. So great draw for United.
It is, like, it is and it isn't. They'll probably still get through it, but, like, Basel are one of those teams that seem to battle against English teams, and going away to Moscow is never easy.
Yeah. Group B, Munich, PSG, Anderlecht, and Celtic. So obviously
some
Bayern.
Absolute great matches here. I'm looking forward to see Bayern and RTE on a Tuesday night.
That's going to be incredible.
Don't be trying to say why Iron Robin's a bluffer and all that sort of stuff. Couldn't make it a Real Madrid sort of.
Yeah, he probably will. Group C, Chelsea, Atletico, Roma, and Qarabag.
Chelsea, Atletico Madrid is a match that I cannot wait to see the rundown highlights of.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
90 minutes of it's just going to be like, oh, this is a 0-0 waiting to happen.
Group D, Juve, Barca, Olympiacos, Sporting. Juve and Barca favourites go through.
Poor Olympiacos, yeah.
Yeah. Group E, Spartak Moscow, Sevilla, Liverpool, and Maribor.
Star
Excuse me. Marlborough Star Mix.
Like when it first came out, I was absolutely delighted. But in some ways, do you not want like a really big team to just mop up all the points, and then you can sneak in with like 5 or 6?
You think it could be competitive?
I think Seville.
Yeah, but that's
pretty
all.
Good, and then
I'm
we should
sure
go through.
I would
be happy if we don't.
Yeah, it would be quite a disappointment. Shakhtar Donetsk, Man City, Napoli, and Feyenoord are Group F.
Man
So
City, Napoli could be one of those.
that'd be brilliant.
Interesting
Honestly.
football, yeah.
I think that'd be fantastic. Monaco, Porto, Besiktas, and RP Leipzig
One of
in
those,
Group G.
One of those teams will like end up in the quarterfinals and be like, "What? Have they been in the tournament the entire time?"
Leipzig,
Yeah,
so they can
Leipzig.
charge 100 for Keita next year.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Tottenham, and Napoli. That's brilliant.
This is gonna be great.
That's
I cannot
fantastic.
wait. Real Madrid at Wembley. Oh,
Real Madrid at Wembley.
it's gonna be wonderful.
Okay, I'm really excited about this Champions
And I
League.
also found out that Dele Alli, do you remember, he's suspended for like doing the 2 footers in the
Oh,
Champions League
yeah.
last year, so he's gonna miss like half the Champions League games.
That's quite incredible. That's going to be so exciting to see.
I thought this was a great draw. Like
It
there's a lot
was.
of like new sort of.
New teams that are actually good, like RP Leipzig, and having 5 English teams for the first time just makes it really exciting for us as Premier League watchers.
Absolutely.
Okay, John, do we have any spoofer or hero awards? We already mentioned the leg drop and stuff. Any tad bits, even news items from the week that we haven't covered? I guess besides Phil Coutinho, if you want to talk about that.
I don't really want to talk about that again.
We missed the third bid. The third bid happened after we did our last show, and then there's supposedly a 4th bid on the way, and then now there's not going to be a 4th bid. That's about it, right?
I don't really have any spoofers or.
Okay, perfect.
I'll check my phone just in case, but I'm fair.
Okay, that's grand. While you were doing that, I will go through the standings for the ITK League at the moment in fantasy football. We do encourage anybody who is listening that hasn't joined to join. We will put the code in the comments section of the post when we post this up to Facebook in a little while. Or when you're listening to it, it will already be posted. The Dirty Michaels in 18th place, Dave Nolte. Triple A, the most uninspiring name, Ronan O'Reilly. Not his personal name, but his team name.
Not like second last week.
I don't know. I don't think he was. Tossed Salah, James Byrne in 16th. Big Hard Dex, Stephen Vincent in 15th. Fat Letitia, Reg Harrison in 14th. Lara in Pajamas, Dan in 13th. What's happening there? Regis
Who is Regis?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, have we found out yet?
I don't think so.
Regis, let yourself be known, please. He's in joint 11th with John.
Find your closest steward.
John, it's always Sané. How many points do you have there, John? 94? Nice. You might break 100 this weekend.
A gentleman's 95.
Noel Keeley with NK Dons in 10th. 9th place, David Gogan. 8th place, Stephen Lane. Tommy Normal in 7th. Rob Normal, just above him again. Those brothers are inseparable this year.
The Nevils of the ITK fans.
Shane Lahart, former champion Shane Lahart in 5th place.
What?
Yes. Shane Lahart dropping down to 5th.
Was he a champion?
Was Shane Lahart not former champion?
No, it's Steve Vincent.
Oh, Steve Vincent. Sorry. Ronan O'Reilly in 4th place. I'm in 3rd with 130 points.
Oh my.
Yeah. Going to make a go of it this year. Adam Joyce knocked off the top spot for the first time. Adam Joyce has 9 points more than myself and 3 points more than him, Danny Kilmartin. Danny Kilmartin and Joyce are the 2 new guys.
Danny Kilmartin is reading fancy football books somewhere or listening to the fancy football podcast with Paul Merson or something.
Okay, Paul Merson wouldn't do you any favours. And secondly, the man can only make one change a week. I think you have to give him credit at this stage that he got it right.
It's like calling the league for United already.
Look at that top 3 though. That's a wonderful top 3 and very competitive.
Definitely a top 3 that wouldn't mind getting a point with.
Thank you very much, John. All right, seems like we don't have any spoofers or Dan, which I guess is one and the same. We will cut it short here. Enjoy the football the weekend. We'll be back early next week. We've done 2 late shows.
Promises.
Yeah, I think we can, right?
You guys could probably record a show when you're watching McGregor Mayweather.
I don't really. We
you
could.
have a lot of time to kill.
I suppose. Well, maybe you can come over and we'll definitely do it.
Absolutely not.
Well, sure, it's Saturday night. We'll only have like one day of football to talk about. Hopefully, we'll be back on Tuesday next week. If you enjoyed the show, please do share it around. Let people be aware of it. We do it every single week for free, and we just are happy that the views and listens are growing. So anything you can do to help that happen, we appreciate it. You can visit us on Twitter at ITK Soccer Show or Facebook /ITK Soccer Show, which is the best place to see our SoundCloud and YouTube posts. The easiest way to listen to the show on a weekly basis. Until next week, enjoy all the football and McGregor Mayweather if you choose to watch the circus. We'll be back on Tuesday.